I was like, looking at it. Yeah, it's not going to boil. Alright, so 3/4. There we go. So you're roughly looking about roughly there. Nothing too crazy. So put it onto the boil. While we're waiting for that to boil, we can actually probably start prepping up our tomatoes and washing our salad, right? So I'm going to get the lettuce out. I'm going to give that a wash in the colander and then start slicing my tomatoes and pop them on a plate or a bowl. Set them aside for later. If you don't want cracks in your eggs, you could always like poke a hole in the bottom of the egg with like a needle. That should work, make them not crack. Oh really? I've never heard of that way before, Barbette. Maybe we should try that. I don't think I've got a needle on me today. But that's interesting to know. I'm guessing because the whites kind of really hold together, it wouldn't really come out the hole. So that's quite interesting to know. There you go. Little tip right for you there. I don't know if it works, but I'm taking your word for it, Barbette. But I've never heard of that one before. That's a new one on me. I like it. So tomatoes and lettuce. So let's grab our board. How you doing, Mr. Headforge? Where we at, good sir? Where we at? So you don't need to go too crazy. I'd say about half a head of romaine lettuce. Maybe like a whole like small head of like baby gem or half a head of that. You really don't need a huge deal. Oh, they packed these tight, didn't they? God, it's like sardines in there. What on earth? What on earth are they thinking? Right, I don't want to use that one because that one's not the greatest one. I want to use the middle one. There we go. Better. I have a different kind of lettuce, but it should be fine. Oh yeah, that's fine. You can use whatever lettuce you want in this, you know. Whether you want like iceberg or romaine or you know whatever you fancy, that's fine. So you can use as much as you want. So I'm gonna get rid of that one. That's looking a little bit sorry for itself. So I'm gonna give these a really good wash and then cut them in half. So I'm going to go with 4. I feel like 4 is going to be plenty. Ramen chefs use it to tip when they boil water their eggs for tea eggs. Actually, I think I have heard of that before. Because as soon as you said ramen to me, I was like, actually, I think I was reading up on that one time. And I think I might have probably forgotten all about it. Well, that's handy to know. Fortunately, I don't got a needle. I don't think I have. Or like a truss and skewer or anything like that, so unfortunately I haven't got any of those things, but that's a nice little tip though. It's a nice little tip. Yeah, be very careful. If you're going to use a knife, you could slip down the shell because it's quite smooth, and you could end up slicing your finger. I would recommend using a needle. I'm not going to even attempt to do that. I'm fine if they crack, it's okay, but I am certainly not going to attempt with a knife. That's very dangerous. But yeah, needle. Needle will do it, definitely for sure. Okay, so my eggs are ready. That's coming up to the boil. I'm going to cut these in half. These have washed off nicely. Cut them in half and I'm just going to pop them into the colander to drain. Set them aside for later. So tomatoes. You can use how many... Oh, jeez, I'm dropping everything today. What's going on? Gordon Bennett, everything's coming out the fridge like hot potatoes. Goodness me. Right, so I was going to cut this in half. I was going to take the ends off as well. Sometimes you're left with like little brown ends or, you know, whichever. So, left with some nice ones. A little bit more of a browner stem there, but that's okay. That's fine. The rest of them are pretty nice. Okay. So let me get my colander and drain them off. If you've got a salad spinner, that would save you a lot of time. But they can be a little bit pricey. You can get a cheap one, I guess, but I don't know if it'll last too long. Butterfingers. I don't know, everything's like jumping at me today. Everything's like jumping at me. It's got like huge legs. Right, so pull out my cheeky tomatoes. I mean, I'm not going to cut two vine tomatoes, even though I put 2 down, right? Or did I put 1? Yeah, I put 2 down. The reason why I'm not going to cut 2 is because my wife doesn't like... Well, not that she doesn't like them. She has really, like, IBS with, like, raw tomatoes, unless it's cooked. So, I said 2 on the recipe. That's fine. But for my situation, I'm just going to use 1 just for me. So, I'm not going to cut any more than that up. Because I don't need to. Is it me, or is that knife just so satisfying to use on a tomato? Very satisfying. Nice and sharp. That's how it should be. How it should be. Right, I'll set that bowl aside. Once that's dried off, I can put the lettuce in there, and that can go in the fridge for later. So, tomatoes, lettuce is made. I'm going to sort the eggs out. The bacon's cooking down in the oven very nicely. Let's have a little cheeky check on that bread dough and see how we're looking. Let's get in there. It's starting to double. I feel like we need to put this somewhere warmer, though. Maybe I could put it up here, out the way. It's quite warm. Oh, yeah, it's quite warm up here, and it's above the oven, so I'm going to put that up there. The dough. You can't see it, but it's in my little cabinet up there. So let's put my empty container over here, out the way. Perfect. So, because the dough's not doubled in size yet, I'm going to put that up there and wait for that to double in size. Once we've done the bacon and the eggs, I guess we could start doing the potatoes, actually, for the fries, so we can get them peeled. Cut. Actually, we're not going to peel them. I want to keep the skin on these ones. If you want to take the skin off, peel them. But for these potatoes are huge. Not even lying to you. Look at the size of these. You think that's a big potato? Look at that whopper. It's like one of those old-fashioned policeman bats, you know? They are huge potatoes. Right, so give these a wash, and we can start cutting these potatoes up. Oh, they're boiling, so let's do the eggs. Water's boiling. I want 5.5 minutes, but I've already got a timer on for my bacon. So how long's got my bacon? 5 minutes left. So let me wait till that's done. But unless I got another timer. For 6 minutes, right? But yeah, okay, let me do the potatoes then. And then once they come out, the bacon, so you can drop the eggs. Home whacker. Or home wrecker. Oh my goodness me. Huge potato. So give these a scrub with a sponge. Or a clean sponge. Or use your fingers. If it's not too soily, you should be fine. But if they're pretty soily, I'd get a sponge in there. Give them a really good scrub. Really good scrub down. But I want to leave the skin on these ones today. Gordon Bennett, look at the size of that potato. So it's like nearly the same size as my knife. That's a hell of a potato. Yeah, for the fries, I'm not doing fries that big. I'm going to cut them in half and then do the fries, obviously. Crikey. So that's a hell of a potato. They're like getting bigger each week as well. So, what we're going to do, cut these in half, and then we're going to start cutting these into nice little cheeky fries. And we're going to put them into a bowl. We're going to soak them in water so we can take out some of the starch, drain them, Then we're going to put them into a pan. I'm going to boil them, and then we're going to let them dry, and then we're going to fry them later on. So you could like fry them in the oil on a lower temperature and then fry them on a higher one. But I prefer kind of part cooking them, boiling them. I always find better results definitely doing it that way. Just bought some pork belly slices. Got any recipe ideas? Oh, so many. I mean, you could do some nice, delicious ramen. Maybe you could score the... Oh, you got it into slices, right? It's already pre-sliced. I suppose you could even do yourself some bread. It's very, very kind of British, I suppose. Some creamy mashed potato. Some pork. Crispy pork slices, so cooking it off in like a cast iron pan and getting it all nice and crispy with a bit of salt in there. Maybe with like a cider... cream sauce, making a gravy, bit of cider and a bit of cream in there. You could even do yourself a nice little rice bowl with vegetables and crispy pork delayed on top if you wanted to. You could even do, I guess... So many dishes. So many dishes. The only problem, I could do more dishes if it wasn't pre-sliced, but if it is pre-sliced, that's fine. Let's have a think. So yeah, you could go Asian style with it. Or you could kind of... No ideas coming today, Chef? I guess that's just a handful. If any more comes to my mind while I'm cooking, I'll definitely give you some. But I don't know. I can't think of any. Or maybe you could do like a nice summery salad. Sorry. So dicing up some lettuce, get some tomatoes in there, get some lovely salad kind of items, some radishes. Cook the bacon. The belly pork. And then you can do that with a salad if you wanted to, and you know, use the dressing with a little bit of lemon juice, mix it in with the juices and stuff. Oh, here he is, Mr. Freebird. Here he is. Freebird, did you have some weird person message you on battle.net and you were like, who the hell's that? It was me. Just to let you know, that was me, good sir. Just in case I freaked you out the other day. How you doing, Freebird? What's up, buddy? We'll let you back on this. I've been on this for a long time, buddy. How you doing? Where have you been? Just bought some... Sorry. Well, after like 93 hours, I have finally finished the main storyline on AC Odyssey. And now to work on the side quest. Awesome. I hope you finish it off. Goodness me. 93 hours. That's quite a lot, isn't it? Gray, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. I hope you're having a lovely day. I hope that's given you some cheeky ideas for sure. If it hasn't, I can go through some more with you if you want me to. Definitely. Has my timer stopped? 26 seconds. There you go. So I'm going to slice these up in a second. Get them into a pan, get them soaking, we'll boil them, and then we're going to drain them off and let them dry out before we fry them later on. So, 13 seconds. And we're going to give those cheeky bacons a little turn, so we can pop them out onto the board over here. And we can give that a little go. So let me put 6 minutes on this timer once this goes off. There we go. So timer, 6 minutes. And where's my spoon? I can drop these down and we can go with the eggs. Cool beans. Put that aside. So, let's have a look at the bacon, shall we? Went out for like pork ribs and like chicken and came back with belly, veal, mince, some diced steak. Ooh, cheeky diced steak, eh? Wouldn't mind doing a steak stew at some point, I think. I feel like I need to do a bit of steak stew now and again. Oh, that bacon smells good, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. It smells divine. Watch your fingers, it's going to be extremely hot, so pop that back in the oven. Without knocking the camera over. Last time I made stew, everyone who ate it passed out after. Let me guess, because they ate too much, right? Because it was so good. That's a good looking bacon. It's looking okay. It's looking a little bit pale at the moment, but wait until later. It's nice and crispy. Ready to go. for those cheeky sarnies. Right, so let's slice these up for fries. Please watch your fingers, guys. Be very, very careful. Just one bowl, my mum and husband, and we're all just like out. Nothing wrong with a hearty, delicious stew. Certainly nothing wrong with it. Right, so I need a large pan, so grab one out. Where can I put this? I'm going to just put this in the sink here, as it's pretty empty anyway. And we can just top it up with water once we're done. Talk about precision fries, goodness me. Oh. Gonna be precision fingerless in a minute if I'm not careful. So you don't need to be so specific with these fries, but at least like, you know, as long as they're all roughly the same size. So when you kind of boil them or cook them down, they all come out the same. Same pretty much cooking time. So they cook nice and evenly, sorry. And as I said, if you don't want the skin on, peel the skin and then just cut them exactly the same way. It should be fine. Oh, bacon, that smoky bacon smell. Caramelized and smells absolutely delightful. Very, very nice. Please, please, please. When you're doing it, these last little bits like this, just watch your fingers, guys, please. Be very careful. Goodness me. We need some smell-o-vision so we can smell what you're cooking. Damn. How you doing, AJ, anyway? How's things? What have you been up to? What have you been up to, good sir? How's my eggs looking? Because I might need to move this pan very shortly. Because those eggs need to go into cold water in about 1 minute 30. So, it's okay. I'll just pop this over here for a sec. Jeff, I think you're going a bit crazy on the chips today, or fries. That's okay. They're not going to go to waste. By the time I'm done with tasters, there won't be any left, so I thought, you know, make sure we got plenty of fries today. Also, guys, please feel free to enter the £10, $10 Amazon gift card giveaway. That's still going. That ends not this weekend, but the following weekend. Exclamation mark giveaway, and please feel free to enter that. But yeah, how you doing, AJ? How's things, dude? I hope if you're still here, he might be jumping back and forth. But I hope you're doing good, buddy. And as I said, sorry if I scared you the other day asking. I bet you don't know who this is on Battle.net. That was me. I think I scared the hell out of him because he didn't reply to me. He's like, "Who's this chap? I don't know this guy." Right. So cold water. Eggs are done. I'm going to get a little bit of ice as well. So cold water. Oh, geez, that ice maker's... Well, the wife said we run out of ice, but we haven't run out of ice now. Jeez. Just to stop that initial cooking process, so the yolks don't carry on overcooking. Just want to stop that cooking process very quickly. What's cooking? We're making homemade bread, and we're also making ourselves very delicious, out of that homemade bread, club sandwich, or chicken club sandwiches, shall I say. That's what we're making today. Tally, how are you doing today? We're also making homemade fries, so currently cutting these up right now. Turn that heat off. We also need another, what? 9 minutes on the timer, or 8 minutes. I'll put 9 minutes will be fine. They're probably going to need a little bit longer. Just put 10. Yeah. The bacon in the oven. Is the dough proven? It certainly is. Proven up here. It's in my cupboard above the camera. So it's proven away nicely. So it needs a lot longer, but that's fine. I'll leave that up there. Let it do its thing. So watch your fingers. I'm just going to turn that off, and I'm just going to add a load more ice to that. To make sure those eggs are nice and chilled. And also just keep the eggs submerged in water. I find them submerged in water a lot more easier to kind of peel. There we go. How's my bacon looking anyway? Oof! Oof! Looking delicious. So watch your fingers as well, especially with these last bits. If you've got a nice sharp knife, you should have more control over it. For sure. There we go. Beautiful. So pop these chips into here, and we're going to submerge them in water. I'm going to boil them, and you don't want to boil them for long, right? It's really, really important. So roughly, I'd say about from boiling point, you kind of want to be boiling them for about 5 minutes, just to soften them, but still initially holding their shape. It's really, really kind of important. If you carry on cooking, they're going to end up like mashed potato. So because they're so thin, the cooking time will be a lot shorter. If you're doing like wedges or something, I would say between 10 and 15 minutes boiling. You know, obviously, just use your head and you know, you kind of get a learn for it, or feel for it once you've done this a couple of times. I always prefer part boiling my chips or fries beforehand, because they come out a better crispness and a better quality at the end, in my opinion. But whichever you prefer. If you want to blanch them in the oil on a lower temperature and then cook them off on a higher temperature, that's fine as well. Whatever you prefer, guys. Okay, goodness me, this is a pretty full pan. You got enough potato chips there, or fries, chef? Right, let's top this up. Let's top this up. So we can start boiling these fries off now. Once they're done, because obviously the more time you've got for draining them drying out, the better. Any moisture on those fries, you're going to have issues on really hot oil. It's going to start spitting. You could even cause accidents. So just make sure those fries are really dried off well. So by doing so is by getting them on early and then drying them off with paper